but you're a momager. You're doing so many amazing things. And one thing I read that resonated with me was that you talked about being in a shelter when you're River. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm professional in the podcast. You know how we do. We started off early. We don't play. We getting straight into it. So talk about that, like being a mom and, you know, how was that process of being in that type of situation and then pulling yourself out the mud and being what you are today?
It was difficult. It took a lot of strength, and I battled with depression a lot for years. You know, when you're pursuing your dreams, people say things like get realistic goals, or, you know, they just don't see the vision that you have. And I always say, you know, if God gave you a vision, it's for you to pursue it. No one else can see it but you, right? So just being in the shelter, we lived in a St. Roscoe shelter in Newark, New Jersey until we were able to get, you know, finances up to get my first apartment. And then from there just took off. Like I decided while the government was paying that portion of the rent for I think it was about 3 months, I was going to grind it out. I started working with, I don't know if you guys remember Jerseylicious and the Glam Fairy, but they were on a style network. So I started working with them, doing styling. I worked with my late friend, Crisida Rodriguez, who blew up before she passed away a couple of years ago. But so I started, you know, just doing wardrobe and getting my name more out there and working with people for free. I started interning with Patricia Field. Nice. While River was literally strapped to my chest, guys, and everyone was so intrigued by him because he was quiet. And you as a parent, you know. Awesome. Yeah.
He was quiet.
Literally, how he started his career, I was on set working for free, and they were doing a Pampers commercial next door. And the kid wouldn't stop crying. He wouldn't sit still. He wasn't a good fit. And they were like, hey, you have a baby. You want to try to use him for this? And I'm like, absolutely. Awesome. And I just said, here you go. And I signed the waiver. And, you know, you get a temporary release form one time with the work permit for kids when you originally, you know, start working them. And from then it just kept going. He enjoyed it, and he was actually really good at it. So from then he started landing gigs with Nickelodeon and different movies, and did The Good Fight.
How old was he for that Pamper commercial?
He was a couple of months. He was probably 6 or 7 months old. So he's been in the game since I was pregnant.
That's his first gig.
Yeah,
man, that's amazing.
That was his first. So, and he's
born into it.
Yeah, he's 12 now. So I was just explaining outside. I'm like, yeah, he's probably faking it right now because he knows how to make himself cry. He's faking his injury, and he's really injured though, guys. So I feel bad, but
he had an injury today?
Yeah, I thought it was his hip, but he told me that it was his thigh and his knee. He fractured his knee or something like that.
Oh man!
So he has to walk on crutches.
He was playing sports?
Yeah, soccer. I don't know.
You know,
I don't like it, y'all. Gotta be honest. I'm not keep hurting my baby. And he's not a baby. He's completely bigger than me, but it's still my baby. So
bigger than you at 12?
Absolutely. He wears a size 13 in men's.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's huge. He's a huge kid, so he towers over me that's my baby. But he's my pride and joy. He was just my motivation. I always told myself that I wouldn't want my child to give up on their dreams, so I don't have the right to give up on mine. As unrealistic as people categorized it, and you know, it seemed realistic to me, and I had a vision, and it was so crazy because I'm like, I know this is gonna work out, you know, and I just went for it, and it just all aligned and fell into place. I met people like Ty Hunter, who is Beyonce's wardrobe stylist, and we're really good friends. He's literally my brother, and you know, I was lucky enough to be aligned with people in the industry of that magnitude that are just so humble and so generous and able to teach you, and you learn about he dresses Beyonce, the biggest wardrobe stylist in the world, you know, and here I am learning from him just off of a tweet on Twitter.
Wow.
So yeah, I believe in social networking to the fullest capacity.